Welcome back to part 2 of my vintage market days of Vermont kind of road trip vlog. It's not really a vlog, more shop with me content. So last week I posted my shop with me as I explored all that there was to offer at the Vintage Market Days event. We were there on Friday, so the VIP day. Early, we got there very close to when it opened, so everyone's booths were really well stocked. There was so much to see. It was so fun to explore for my first time at the event. So definitely go check out last week's video if you're interested in that. But after we left the Vintage Market Days and started heading back home to Burlington, we of course had to swing by 2 other antique stores on our way. So first up here, we are still in Rutland at an auction house that had its doors wide open and a sign out front that said antique sale today. So I was excited to pop in here and see what I could find. And then after this stop, we also stopped on another roadside spot as we were getting closer to home. So hope you enjoy this shop with me content, and I would love to hear below kind of what sort of thing, if you like shop with me, if you prefer voiceover, if you are only here for the hauls, let me know. At the end of this video, I have my haul from all 3, or kind of the Vintage Market Days, and then the auction house and the other antique shop that we ended up popping into. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next week.
I've had 2. The last 2 estates we bought out, over 700 clocks, and I've had 2 that were like that, out of the 700.
Wow.
So,
That's really good.
hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Too much to see here.
Well, you gotta take your time. You gotta go one way, then you gotta go around the other way,
Yep.
because you just don't.
You gotta look up and then you
Yeah.
have to look down.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here.
Grandkids learn how to cook, the more successful they will be in life. Nobody already burned on $1. Wow. $3.
Oh, his hand.
Hello, how are you? Good, thank you. You can set that down, so you don't have to walk around with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Right.
Missed a section already.
You sure did. Your Chris's stash funds. And that's got a minute. Probably plugs in. I wondered what this was. It's a cigarette. It was pretty. Yeah, that's a really cool clock.
It is.
Yeah, I know. Not at all. Hence, I'm still here. That's a nice one. That clock.
Right, right.
I know what you're thinking. I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
I felt the easy sort of thing.
That's not what it's for.
Stool's really pretty. Ooh, that's really pretty. What? $8. Okay. I don't think I care.
There's so much here. I know. It's really easy to walk by. I have people. I had a guy the other day who thought this certain thing.
Wow. How much is that? Why do I love that so much? I feel like we need that. Oh, I love that too. Jeez Louise.
This day was so fun. The haul is small but mighty, if you will. So at Vintage Market Days, I think I ended up buying from 3 different booths, one of which was like one of the first ones I walked through. I saw this beautiful enamel pot with the handle. Honestly, perfect for this time of year. This feels like it would be so good with your Halloween candy, which I'm gonna do with it now that I've hauled it. I will admit, in the booth, right, we were in giant barns, like there were no windows. I thought this was a slightly different color. Now, it is still beautiful. It is still in incredible condition, but I'm not sure it has as much of a home in my decor right now. So I might list this one on Etsy, but for now I'm going to use it for Halloween, see how I feel about it. And then perhaps it has to live with me for every October for the rest of time. But it was only $10. So definitely a great find, and again, like incredible condition inside and out, could also be great as a planter kind of on the front porch for me. So I was shopping very much kind of purely for myself. Like I was not really going through the lens of sourcing. I had no agenda. So everything I picked up was largely because I personally wanted it. Doesn't mean I'll keep it all, but that's the lens I had in the moment. The next thing I bought was this beautiful bud vase. Now, blue and white, obviously, but I absolutely love, I don't know if you can see kind of the detail around the rim. It's got like a little bit of scalloping, if almost, like it's so subtle, but it's so pretty. This definitely had a label at some point of some kind, but I don't know anymore what that would have been. This one was $13, and from the same booth I got this copper piece, which I really love. One of the places I had in mind for decor as I was shopping was on the vanity of our primary bathroom. We have 2 sinks, and there's kind of this like abyss in the middle where I don't want like another catch-all. You know what I mean? I don't want a place to collect more junk on the surface. But I thought maybe if I can create like a cluster of vases with some dried florals, which are usually my go-to because I don't have the bandwidth for real plants right now, that could be something that ends up meeting my need of like a little bit of decoration there without it being a place I can use as a catch-all. So these 2 I actually kind of picked up independently, but within the same booth. Ultimately could go together, could be totally separate, but as standalones or as a cluster, they both could work really well in my bathroom. And that booth was, do I have her? Yes. Watson Home Market. I'll link her below. I think she also has a YouTube channel. So that was fun. Then only one more thing from Vintage Market Days. I saw this platter on my first pass through. It was only $8. Can you see the beautiful feathering, the age on this? It is incredible. One of the things that I noticed about myself as I was shopping, right, is like your first impression of what the booth had swayed my judgment really quickly, right? So this was in a booth that was heavily retro, a ton of retro Christmas, like more a style that is less aligned with my taste. So I wasn't super keen on like exploring, walking through it. It was very busy. I wasn't like, I don't need to, push my way through. But I walked through anyway, because I was interested. And this was just like tucked away behind a bunch of stuff that was more aligned with their inventory. I mean, are you kidding? Like $8 for this incredibly beautiful piece. So much age to it. It's got a 15 on the back. And it's got a little bit of damage on the rim there, but I don't care. I mean, obviously it has a lot of wear, right? Like that's what makes it beautiful. So this, again, for me, but my sister also loves it, and I have a feeling my mom is going to be a big fan of it too. So that, if I were to decide not to keep this, it has a home in my family somewhere. Such a fun find, right? Like it's part of the joy of this kind of job. I use air quotes because for me, I am not making money on this right now. I cannot classify what I'm doing as a job, but by going out sourcing through the lens of reselling, it enables me to find the hidden gems for myself too, if that makes sense, right? Like I'm not gonna go out every week shopping for personal use. That's not like what, my own priority right now. But if I'm out, through the lens of resale and happened to find amazing pieces for me too at an amazing price, $8. Are you kidding? Like, it just feels like a little bit of a bonus. So obviously on this day, it was my birthday. We were on a day trip, kind of. It was my birthday gift to explore for the day. So this shopping for myself was part of the deal here. But my point is, exposing yourself to the environments where you can find hidden treasures inevitably will result in really cool finds. I found an auction house. As we were driving into town, they had a big sign out kind of on the street, which, I mean, we just happened to drive past it. So thankfully it was on the street we were driving through. That was, antique sale today kind of thing. And they had a giant garage door open. So I immediately noted that and was like, oh, depending on how long we are at Vintage Market Days, we can swing by there on our way back out. And I'm so glad that I popped in there. It was a really cool spot. Definitely a place that buys out estates. So they had tons of stuff like clocks, hundreds of them, right? Like you saw. So it was so fun being there. And I found a few things. It was kind of like a booth setup, I think, because there's initials on some of these. He ended up throwing this in for free, but this is like a beautiful soap dish. This is all painted on. It's not embedded kind of tiles or anything, but it kind of looks like a mosaic vibe. Very pretty dish. I intend to probably use for soap. It's unmarked. It's got a number 1003. It does look hand stamped actually, but I'm not sure the maker of this one. Next up, I grabbed this beautiful vase with kind of the spiral design, incredible kind of sea glass color. Its hefty handle is really fun. And I do believe this one's hand blown based on the base here. Even the handle, like the connections of the handle, it definitely feels very interesting. Very cool piece. I got this for my mom for Christmas, I think. I think she will like it. She's actually visiting in a few days, so we'll see if she's into it, and if she wants it, she can have it. Otherwise, I think that one will go on Etsy. And finally, wait, where's this one from? Where did I get this one? I think this is from there too. So this one has a hairline crack, but it does not bother me at all. I did think through, like, will this be for personal use? Because I've heard and am learning more about kind of shipping. This kind of crack that feels like, not an issue could impact the stability of the piece in shipping and cause challenges. So if this was not for personal use or kind of selling in an in-person context, I would be nervous about shipping this piece based on the crack, because it does go through to the inside too, if you can kind of see that here. But this piece is marked on the bottom. This is ironstone. The shape with this like giant handle, it feels almost like an excessively large mug, and I love that about it. So this one I do intend to, like, if I were to choose between these two, I would be keeping this one. And I think this was $10, $8, even better. Did I mention that he gave me this for free? He just like threw it in. So the other piece that I got from him was actually a little furniture piece. I'm gonna just hover it on the screen here. I got it with the intention of putting it in one of my kids' rooms. I can't decide if I want to repaint it because I do love the color, but it does have a decent amount of wear in I like the wear, right? Like the scratchiness, the chippiness of seeing multiple layers of paint. I really love that. But I don't know how old, I don't know anything about the history of this. So for my kids' rooms, they're still very young. I would probably want to clear coat it just to be sure. And before I do that, I'm like, maybe I should just give it like a light, fresh coat of paint. I'm unsure. If you have opinions, please let me know. This was only $15. And again, I love the color. So if I were to repaint it, I would probably try to match the color as close as I could and just kind of do something really light so I got a little bit of the see-through of the color variation going on. It's gonna be so perfect for like books on the top and kind of, you know, hide the tinier toys, the looser things on the bottom, and they can access it all themselves. It's the perfect height. Last, but most certainly not least, on our drive back, we swung into the Perfect Image in Brandon. I've got her business card here, but she doesn't seem to have an online presence. Her kind of description here, she says antiques, collectibles, and custom mirrored windows. It was a very cool space to walk through. There were definitely tons of doors and windows and stained glass. And the piece I ended up picking up was this beautiful mirror. If you can see there, you are resting on a painted pumpkin. This is a really beautiful mirror. It's got this green color. Obviously, we all know now I love green. It is an old mirror. It's chippy, it's beautiful. I absolutely love the shape, right? Like with the, you know, showing a mirror on camera, I'm more worried about what's in the frame of the mirror. So, you know, interesting. The shape is beautiful. We are currently redoing a half bath and a new mirror is going to be a part of that. So that is what I had in mind. Unfortunately, I think it's a little bit too small for that space. I was really hoping it would work, but I didn't have measurements to reference when I was shopping. And you know how when you see something totally out of context, right? Like I was in her barn where she kind of had the two sides, right? So I was in the section where it was tons of doors and large windows in this massive kind of unfinished barn space. Your perspective of scale is different in those moments. So I like seeing it now, it's definitely a little too small. In the moment, I was feeling like it was going to be just right. Totally fine because I can find another place for it. I love the color. I love the style of it. It'll work in other places in our home. It was $45. So I wish it would work in the half bath because I don't need a mirror or piece of art anywhere else right now. But it will absolutely find a home and I'm glad I made the call to purchase it. Her store was beautiful. Pricey, but beautiful. This was super fun. It was a wonderful like fall day. It was a Friday, so the roads weren't too busy. It was like absolutely perfect in that context. I would love to kind of make it a bit of a birthday tradition to do this and maybe get off the beaten track a little bit more next time because we ended up basically stopping only on, you know, places that were on our direct line of sight. But I'm sure there's so many more gems if we kind of just veer off a little bit in search of them. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you love from the haul. Did you see anything cool in the shop with me sections that you'd have picked out for yourself? I'd love to know. And I'll have another video for you next week. See you then.